What if the heaviest thing you've ever carried quietly made you one of the most aware, perceptive, and emotionally intelligent people in any room you walk into? Not because you were lucky, not because life was kind to you, but because it wasn't. There's something happening inside people who've been through real pain, something most of them don't even have a name for, and by the end of this, you might finally understand why you feel things so deeply, why you see what others miss, and why your suffering was never just suffering. Think about the last time you walked into a room full of people. While everyone else was laughing, talking, sipping their drinks, you were doing something else entirely. You were reading the air, noticing who looked uncomfortable, sensing the tension between two people who were pretending everything was fine, feeling the weight of the unspoken, and you probably thought, something is wrong with me. Why can't I just relax like everyone else? But here's what nobody told you. You weren't broken, you were trained. Not in a classroom, not in a book, in the hardest school that exists, your own life. Psychologists have started calling it traumatic intelligence, and it's real, it's measurable, and it might be the most underrated form of human wisdom alive. Here is something worth sitting with for a moment. The brain doesn't experience pain passively, it learns from it. When something hurts you, really hurts you, your nervous system doesn't just register damage. It builds new architecture, new pathways, new antennas designed to make sure you survive the next time. That's not weakness, that's adaptation at its finest. And people who carry deep pain don't just survive. Over time, they develop a kind of intelligence that people who've lived comfortable, undisturbed lives simply do not have access to. Not because those people are less capable, but because they were never forced to build what you built. So let's talk about what that actually looks like. The 10 signs that your pain quietly made you extraordinary. Sign 1. You can feel when someone is lying, even when they're saying all the right words. People who grew up in unpredictable environments, homes where love was conditional, where moods shifted without warning, where you never quite knew which version of someone you were going to get. Those people became expert decoders. You learned to read micro-expressions before you even knew that was a thing. You noticed when someone's smile didn't reach their eyes, when the tone of a voice said the opposite of the words. This isn't anxiety. This is a finely calibrated social radar built from years of needing to know in order to stay safe. Sign 2. You have an almost uncomfortable level of empathy, not the kind where you feel sorry for someone, the kind where you feel with them, where a stranger's quiet grief across a crowded space can make your chest tighten, where you sometimes don't know if what you're feeling is yours or someone else's. That's not a disorder, that's attunement. It's what happens when your own pain taught you that suffering is real, that it's specific, and that it deserves to be witnessed. Sign 3. You think about life at a depth most people avoid. You've sat with questions that most people deflect, with busyness or distraction. What does it all mean? Why do people hurt each other? What am I actually supposed to do with my time here? This isn't depression, though it can look like it from the outside. This is philosophical depth born from personal rupture. Crisis has a way of burning away the superficial. What's left is a person who simply cannot live on the surface anymore. Sign 4. You are extraordinarily resilient, and you almost never give yourself credit for it. Think about what you've already survived. Not just the event, the aftermath, the sleepless nights, the way you had to keep functioning while carrying something no one could see, the way you got back up again and again, not because it was easy, but because somehow you found a reason to. That is not common. Most people, when faced with what you've faced, would crumble in ways they can't imagine because they've never had to imagine it. Pause here for a moment. Think of the hardest season of your life, the one that changed you. Now ask yourself honestly, who are you compared to who you were before it? Because most people who've been through real pain don't come out smaller. They come out more aware, more layered, more capable of sitting with discomfort, with ambiguity, with the complexity of being human. That version of you was built by something brutal, but it was built. Sign 5. You choose your words with unusual care, because you know what words can do. You felt the ones that cut, the ones that were withheld when you needed them most. the ones that were weaponized. So when you speak, you're careful. You think before you say things in a way that most people simply don't. And when you do say something meaningful, people feel it because it comes from someone who understands the weight of language. Sign 6. You have a deep, almost instinctive need to protect others, especially the ones who remind you of who you used to be. The quiet ones, the ones hiding behind a smile, the ones trying too hard to seem fine. You see them because you were them, and something in you refuses to let them feel as invisible as you once did. That impulse, or that protective urgency, is pain transformed into purpose. Sign 7. You don't take good moments for granted. This one is subtle, but people who've known real loss, real grief, real rupture, they notice beauty differently. A warm afternoon, a genuine laugh, a conversation that didn't feel performative. These things land on you in a way they don't for people who've never had them taken away. There's a richness to your experience of ordinary moments that is quietly a gift. Sign 8. You can hold two contradictory things at once without falling apart. The world is not black and white. People are not fully good or fully bad. Situations are not simple. And while most people struggle deeply with that ambiguity, needing a clear answer, a clear villain, a clear ending, you've learned to sit inside uncertainty without it destroying you. That's called dialectical thinking. And therapists spend years trying to help people develop it. You developed it the hard way, but you have it. Sign 9. You've developed an almost eerie ability to know when something is wrong before it becomes obvious. Call it intuition. Call it pattern recognition. Call it whatever you want. But people who've lived through unpredictability develop a kind of early warning system. You pick up on the shift in energy before the argument starts. You sense the distance before someone pulls away. You know before you know. And that knowing, as unsettling as it sometimes feels, has protected you more times than you realize. Sign 10. You are still here, still trying, still searching for meaning. And that, more than anything else on this list, is the sign. Because people who have nothing left to offer, people who are truly empty, they don't search for meaning. They don't watch videos like this one at whatever hour it is wherever you are, quietly hoping that someone finally says something that makes the pain make sense. The fact that you're still reaching, still curious, still leaning toward understanding, that's not a small thing. That is everything. Here is the twist that most people never see coming. We live in a culture that treats pain as an obstacle, something to eliminate as fast as possible, something to medicate, distract from, outrun. And there's nothing wrong with healing. Healing matters, but somewhere in the rush to feel better, we skip right past the question of what the pain was trying to build. Because pain, when it doesn't destroy you, and you are proof that it didn't, functions more like a forge than a wound. It doesn't just leave a scar, it leaves a structure, an architecture of self, a version of you that is harder to fool, harder to break, and more capable of genuine human connection than almost anyone who never had to fight for it. You didn't choose what happened to you, but you are the person who happened because of it. And that person, with all their hypervigilance, all their depth, all their quiet wisdom and soft edges and hard-won knowing, that person is not damaged goods. That person is one of the most valuable kinds of humans alive. So if you've been walking around feeling like your sensitivity is a flaw, like your awareness is too much, like you feel things too deeply or think too heavily or carry more than your share, maybe it's time to reframe the story. Not to pretend the pain wasn't real, it was. Not to say the wound didn't hurt, it did. But to ask, what did surviving it give me that I would never have found any other way? Because the answer, when you're ready to look at it, is not nothing. It never was. Thank you for watching.